Hi everyone, my name is Justin Sylvester, and today we'll be discussing how to install Nessus Professional in an offline environment. Before we jump to the installation, I think it's important to just introduce Nessus. So, what is Nessus? Well, Nessus is really a de facto industry standard vulnerability assessment solution that's going to help you quickly and easily identify findings and fixes related to things like software flaws, missing patches, malware, and misconfigurations. Nessus is going to scan your system with what Tenable refers to as a plugin. A plugin is going to be a Tenable published test that, again, is going to assess your system for vulnerabilities. These plugins are written in a proprietary language that Tenable refers to as the Nessus attack scripting language. So, what do we need to do to get Nessus installed on an offline system? Well, there are a few steps. The first thing we need to do is acquire an activation code. We then need to download the Nessus installer, followed by installing Nessus and obtaining a challenge code on the offline system. We then need to download the plugin archive and license file so that we can register the product offline. And finally, we'll go ahead and complete the offline registration. So as previously stated, the first step in this process is to register for an activation code. And to do that, we're going to go out to Tenable.com. We're going to hover over products and we'll select Tenable Nessus since that's the product that we're interested in. To register for an activation code, you simply fill out the form here to trial it, or you can go ahead and just buy the product outright to use on your system. This demonstration is going to be using a trial, and I've already registered for the product, so we won't waste time filling out this form. But for your system, if you don't have an activation code yet, you'll want to go ahead and complete the form. The next thing we're going to do is download the Nessus binaries. And to do that, we're going to go to the Tenable Downloads page. We're going to select Tenable Nessus since that's the product that we're interested in using. I'm going to use the latest version for the purposes of this demonstration, which is 10.8.4. And the platform that I'm targeting is a 64-bit Windows architecture. So we'll leave the platform as is. If you have a different platform, you'd obviously select that from the download menu. But for the purposes of this demonstration, we'll leave it as Windows 64-bit. We'll then select download, agree to the licensing terms, and download the MSI file. Now that we've downloaded the MSI, we have to transfer it to the offline system to perform the installation. For the purposes of this demonstration, we'll pretend that I've done that and that I'm now accessing the Nessus MSI on the offline system. So here it is on my offline system. To perform the install, I'll simply double click it. We'll follow the install shield wizard to perform the installation, accept the licensing agreement, accept the default location of the installation, and click on install. Okay, now it looks like the installation is complete. I'll click finish, and it should prompt me with a new web page. And what we'll do next is we'll go ahead and just click connect via SSL. The first time you connect to the Nessus web interface, you're likely going to get this privacy warning because it's not a valid certificate. By default, Nessus is going to come with a self-signed certificate, which natively is not trusted by your system. For now, we'll just go ahead and bypass that warning. There may be additional steps if your system is securely configured to allowing that. Now that we've hit the web interface, go ahead and click on Register Offline. We'll select Continue, and then we'll have to select our product. So we're using Nessus Professional. We'll select Continue again, and here we have our challenge code. So what we're going to do is we're going to document this challenge code. We're going to bring it to an online system, and then we're going to finalize the product registration by appending and submitting a license key to the Nessus web interface. So for the purposes of this demonstration, we're going to pretend again that I've documented my challenge code and that I've navigated back to my online system. We'll go ahead. And what we need to do is we need to access the offline registration portal. Okay, and there are a few little bits of information that we need here. The first thing that we need is the challenge code that we obtained on the offline system when we installed the Nessus product. And then we'll also need our activation code, which is the code that we obtained in step 1 when we registered for the product. We'll go ahead and submit that. and it'll bring you then to the license page. So on the license page here, you have your Tenable license, okay, and your plugins. A very important note here is that we are going to save this plugin URL because we're going to use it to download the plugins this time and in the future. All right. And then we're also going to save our Nessus license. So we'll click on Nessus.license, the .license file. We'll go ahead and save it. We're also going to download the plugin archive. And again, be sure to save the URL that it presents you with here. Okay. So what's next? The final step here is going to be to complete our product registration. So within my downloads directory here, I've got my license file and my plugin archive, all-2.0.tar.gz. It'll be the same exact file name every time you download the plugin archive. The next step is for me to transfer these two files to the offline system and finalize product registration. So for the purposes of this demonstration, we're going to pretend that I've done that. Here I am in my offline system again. The first step here is going to be to submit my license key. So I'll go ahead and open my Nessus.license file. It'll open in Notepad by default there. Okay, we'll set up just a Nessus administrator account. This is going to be the account that's used to manage the application. And setup is now complete. Nessus will then take some time to initialize. We'll give it some time here, and then I'll reboot the recording once it's done. Okay, Nessus has finished initializing. You can see that it's automatically logged me in with the account that I created, username of Nessus. The next step here is going to be to upload the plugin archive. So functionality is going to be limited. I won't be able to run scans without plugins being uploaded to the scanner. To manually upload our own plugin archive, which is what we're going to need to do in an offline environment, we'll go to Settings, Software Update, Manual Software Update. We'll upload our own plugin archive, hit Continue. We'll be prompted with a File Explorer, and then we'll select the all-2.0.tar.gz that we transferred to the offline system previously. We'll go ahead and hit Open. This process does take some time to complete, so please be patient. You'll see the little wheel in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen there spinning. I would recommend waiting until that completes or until you're notified that plugins have been uploaded before you proceed. Well, as you see here, plugins have finished compiling. Just a heads up, it took my system about 30 minutes to extract and compile the plugin archive that I uploaded. So please be patient with the process. Now that the plugins have been uploaded and compiled, we're eligible to run scans. Nessus is officially registered in your offline environment and can be used just as if it were on an online production network. So I hope that you found this demonstration informative. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And thank you so much for your time.